When I do something wrong, when I gossip or condemn someone else, and I'm found out, the weight of coming clean feels almost unbearable. My heart races, my mind spins, and a storm of emotion swirls from within. Embarrassment washes over me like a sudden downpour, drenching me in the cold realization that I have not lived as I profess to live every Sunday as a Christian. Then comes that sting of shame, a silent whisper asking, how will they see me now? Their gazes feel even heavier, their opinion seemingly redefined by my mistake. But perhaps the deepest wound is the quiet ache of knowing I have willingly hurt another, that my words or actions have inflicted pain for my own selfish gain. Yet these feelings, embarrassment, shame, and remorse, are really the natural consequences of my very own actions. They're the bitter harvest of the seeds I have sown. And as much as I wish to avoid these emotions, honestly, they're justified. I'm reaping what I have sown. But now we turn our hearts to this first station of the cross. This Lenten season invites us to walk with Jesus step by step along the path of his passion. And here we travel with St. Mark in his 15th chapter. We witness a trial unlike any other, a trial not born of guilt, but of fear, not of justice, but of jealousy. Travel with me for a moment, picture the scene, the dawn barely breaking, the sky most likely a muted gray, as the chief priests, the elders, and the scribes, those really who should have been the closest to God, the models, they all gather in a secret place. Their whispers are not of prayer, but of plotting. The air is thick with tension, their fear of losing power wrapping around them like an invisible chain. And so they bind Jesus, the very embodiment of freedom, and march him to Pilate. In this case, religion, meant to guide souls to God, now shackles the Son of God himself. Imagine for a moment Jesus standing there, bound by ropes, yet somehow his spirit is unbroken. Accused, yet his silence thunders louder than any defense. Pilate, the governor of Judea at the time, a man of earthly power, looks upon this humble figure and asks, "Are you the King of the Jews?" And Jesus, with a calmness that defies the chaos, replies, "You say so." This title, King of the Jews, was first spoken by the Magi as they searched for the newborn Savior. And now it echoes again, not in adoration, but in accusation. What irony that the title given in homage by the wise men who came from afar now drips with scorn from the lips of Pilate. Close your eyes for a moment and step into the crowd. Feel the press of bodies around you, the murmur of voices rising like smoke. Some faces you recognize. People who once followed Jesus, who listened to his words of love and healing. People he fed, comforted, and forgave. But now their silence pierces deeper than any shout. How quickly admiration turns to accusation. How easily the crowd, once filled with awe, transforms into a mob. Have you ever stood accused of something you didn't do? Have you felt the burning injustice of a lie woven so tightly that others believed it so thoroughly? It's a suffocating feeling, a sinking weight in the pit of your stomach. There's really no way out. And yet, have you also been part of the crowd, choosing silence when speaking up felt just a little too risky? allowing falsehoods to spread because confronting them might cost you too much. Jesus stands there not as a defeated man, but as a defiant king. His silence not weakness, but his heavenly strength. His silence does not abandon his identity, it affirms it. With every unspoken word, he proclaims his trust in the Father, his refusal to bow to the corrupt power of this world. His silence roars with the truth of who he is. And so as we reflect on this moment, let us ask ourselves, when have I remained silent when someone needed me to speak the truth? When have I chosen the comfort of the crowd over the courage of conviction? How often have I, like the religious leaders, clung to my own sense of control rather than surrendering to God's will? As we reflect on this first station, let us remember Jesus' silence was not the absence of word, but in fact the presence of trust. It was not an empty void, but a powerful testimony. My brothers and sisters, may we in this Lent find the strength to break our silences when justice calls, and to embrace the silences when trust in God speaks louder than our words ever could.